And hello all, CJ here and welcome back to CJ Spook. So today we're going to be taking a look at some scary, weird, just all random, creepy TikToks that make my mind melt and overthink, you know, the usual. So if you do enjoy the video, please hit that like button for me. It really does help. Okay, and if you enjoy it at the end and you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button. But let's get right into it, shall we?
No, voice is bright and clear, bringing cheer to all. This is the time. Not my time! Your joy burns!
Okay. What's going on there? Do you reckon that was kind of a play or? Wow, okay.
Hunters in England captured footage of what they believe is the spirit of a young girl who died in a mining disaster. The eerie anomaly was filmed during their investigation at a coal mine known as Husker Pit, where 26 children tragically perished in 1838. The figure appears to be a small girl in a white dress floating above a memorial. Skeptics argue it could be a trick of light and shadow, but what do you think? Ghost hunters in England captured.
He might have just showed us something they weren't supposed to. Since the US government conveniently shut down just days before the Mars flyby of 3i Atlas and told us they're not gonna give us updates on it anymore, the good old ESA released this video just a few days after it flew by Mars, using their ExoMars trace gas orbiter. And just watch what happens when we zoom it in. No video enhancements applied whatsoever. Is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing? Surely this is just a photography lighting glitch, right? And like, where is China in all this? They do have an active orbiter around Mars, the Tianwen-1. Wouldn't this be just like the best opportunity for them to flex on us, showing us the clearest photos of 3i Atlas yet? But no, radio silence from the CNSA, China's National Space Administration. So they either somehow didn't take the photo on time, or they did, saw what it was, and didn't want to show anyone else. And still other online detectives pulled this image from NASA's official Mars Perseverance rover's online public library, dated Seoul 1643, October 4th, 2025, the exact time that 3i Atlas flew by. NASA, of course, hasn't commented on this yet, and some are saying it might just be Mars's moon Phobos caught in motion, which ironically is Greek for fear. The European Space.
It's getting a bit worrying now, isn't it? And I suppose the most worrying thing about it is we don't know. And I don't understand why the US government has shut down. I think it's something to do with the bill. Is it if a bill doesn't go through, then the government gets shut down? If any of you lovely people are from the United States, could you please explain that to me? Or do they shut down in times of emergency? I don't know. But yeah, I can see why it's very suspicious when they're actually going straight to Mars. It's going to Mars where we can actually see it, and then everything shuts down. So, you know, they don't make it better for themselves, do they? At the end of the day, they don't turn around and say, oh, you know, they just like, it's like they do it on purpose, man. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It again. Wait, bro, did he sacrifice again?
Not really, right?
Yeah.
So do you know why these artists are called idols?
No, bro.
So when an artist is on a stage, and a stage is an altar, so the people there, they are just like a church, congregation.
Worshipping.
They are worshipping, they idolize. That is why they can sing, they praise, some even they cry, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that happens in churches. When the pastor is actually on the spirit, what happens?
The energy around, bro.
The energy around, people fall, right? So
Yo.
that is why the certain people fainted there, and people are saying that is a sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
But what actually surprises me, right? The song "Fame," right? Have you ever asked yourself what the meaning of fame means?
No, bro. What does it mean?
So fame is a slang that means obsession or desire,
Yeah.
right? How many times did the song was played?
Like 7 times, bro.
7 times, right? So people wanted that song. They were desiring it. That is why, like, when people listen to this song, they go like crazy, right?
It's like a drug.
It's like a drug, right? But another thing is that at the end of the song, like in the lyrics, it's where it says homicide,
Yeah,
with an
homicide.
X, right? Homicide, thing, craving, right? Obsession of homicide. Homicide is when someone kills another person.
Crazy.
Right? But that's what got me. And there's a song where he even cried, right?
Yeah.
I think he cried.
Yeah, you cried.
So,
you cried.
you know his song, Look Into My Eyes. Remember what the eyes say or symbolize at the window to the soul.
Crazy, bro.
When you want to see something in someone, you have to look into their eyes, right? So that's why certain people, there is someone that fainted there, right? But why do you have an obsession thing, homicide, obsession of killing, right?
Crazy, bro.
But no one does it like Travis, dog. I'm not gonna lie.
Big. He's big.
This
bro.
is crazy. This is his second time in South Africa, and this was one of the biggest
shows in his career.
Yo, bro, that's crazy. This guy actually deserves his flowers. I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
You know, despite or anything, him being an people idolize him. Obviously, when you become a celebrity, you being.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? You know, they're using celebrities to bring the masses to them, and then doing some sort of like subliminal messaging. I heard a story before of it's like karma. If for example, if I was gonna burgle a house and I just burgle a house, is eventually bad karma will come back around and bite me in my ass. But if I told you I'm gonna burgle your house, then I go and burgle your house, I cancel out the bad karma. Do you think this is why they throw it all in front of our faces? Because they never seem to have any karma come around and bite them in the ass, unless, you know, it's self-inflicted. So by throwing it all out there in front of our faces, they're telling us what they're doing, and they're doing it, and they're not getting the repercussions from that. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
This is why you should always mind your business. This guy was looking at the house across the street that's supposedly haunted when he captured this. As he zooms in, he sees a sheet pass by the window, revealing a little girl staring right at him, and some people say they also see a tall, dark figure standing behind her. The house is for sale, but if this is real, that house is not getting sold.
That house is not getting sold, guys. I am moving in, eh? I'm scared of little girl ghosts.
That's not funny. You know I'm afraid of little girl ghosts.
This clip shows doorbell footage of something strange. We see a woman walking by, and we see a woman walking in the opposite direction. The woman walking to the left seems to be wearing old style clothes. But the strangest thing is the woman seems to start disappearing before going out of the camera view. It's strange footage, but does it show a ghost, or could it be a normal woman and the woman disappearing was down to a camera artifact? What do you think?
I know it's a bit hard because as she's going right up to the frame, then it starts happening. If it happened in the middle of the camera, I could just say, yeah, you know, it'd be a bit more thing. But I think personally that obviously with the Ring door cam, it's a bit glitchy on the end, so it might a bit, you know, didn't catch it. But that's my opinion anyway, guys. What do you guys think?
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
What?
The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy, but
if you could remember, struggle, tell me. Give me a date. Give me a date.
Maybe that was her cry for help. They're erasing my memory, dude. Maybe that's why she's looking so ill all of a sudden. I know people are saying she turned into a witch. That wouldn't surprise me with all this occultism going on in Hollywood, you know. Yeah, it's very, very strange.
It's a weird one, so bear with me. But this picture of Sofia Vergara, seemingly normal, right? I think she's on America's Got Talent as a judge or whatever she does. On March 16th, I screenshot this from my phone. You can look at it on her Instagram. But what is that? That's not motion blur. I'm an editor. That's not motion blur. She looks a little weird, but whatever. We can look it over. But wait, it gets weirder. What is wrong with them? All these people right here, what is happening? Her. Why doesn't she have an eye? And if this is AI, why? Why would it be? That's a weird one, so.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
To tie up one of his group to test the ghosts in this abandoned hospital. While exploring this abandoned hospital, they found this cart, so they want to check for ghosts. And then they picked one of them, tied him in a prowler, and set up multiple cameras to film from different angles. So the rest of the team went out and left him alone inside to see what would happen.
Are any of the patients still here with me? Behind you? Who's behind me? Bro, somebody just pushed me! Somebody just pushed me! Yeah! Yeah! Help. Okay.
We're coming, we're coming! You want me to get through?
Yeah, come.
Yeah, I want to come over.
There's something in that room. Something, I swear on everything, something like, it felt like something was like almost like a hand on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then it just felt like I got nudged. I got pushed on everything. What did you put in that room?
A haunted object.
They decided.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. His reaction looked pretty genuine. I think the worst part of it, obviously, it wouldn't be good if something was said, I'm behind you, and then push you. But the worst thing about it all, I think, is if you can't do nothing. You're tied up. I'd be like, no, thank you, buddy. All right, that's it. No, thank you, buddy. Oh.
Good night. Good night.
Mr. Polite, why is the camera so grainy? Why?
Here's some leaked Apollo 11 footage that was never meant to be seen by the general public. This footage is supposedly evidence that astronauts Michael Collins, Buzz Aldrin, and Neil Armstrong faked footage of the Earth while on their space shuttle journey to the moon. Now, in this first piece of footage, you can clearly hear the astronauts speaking with Houston. However, there's a third party that all of a sudden adds to the conversation.
The TV looks great. Over. Okay, Roger. We're coming in on Earth.
Now, there is plenty of footage of this in the original video. However, there was only 20 seconds that was released to the general public as live. Now, if this was supposedly broadcast live, why is Armstrong in this next clip talking about playback?
Yeah, we just wanted a narrative such that we can, when we get to playback, we can sort of correlate what we were saying. Thank you very much.
So what this video is insinuating is that the astronauts used a bit of camera trickery where they would hold the video camera further and further away from the window, making it seem that the Earth was moving further and further away from them, when in fact they were much closer and just recorded the Earth from a circular window, stepping back, making it seem like it was further away. And hold on, because I'm saving the best for last. Here Aldrin is talking about how they blocked out the windows so that the sun wouldn't shine on the inside walls.
Good. Well, we shut out the sun coming in some of the other windows into the spacecraft, so it's looking through the number one window, and there isn't any reflected light.
Here you can clearly see how far they are from the window as something seems to enter the frame, maybe an astronaut's elbow, who knows. And then here is the main event. So you can clearly see the tiny Earth in the window, you can see a little work light here, and then the lights come up. And look how bright the Earth is if it's that far away. So both of the slates for this footage were dated the 19th and 20th of July. But how can that be when the 20th was supposedly when they landed on the moon? Based on their location from the footage they took on the 19th, the moon would still be 3 days away. So how are they then walking on the moon just 1 day later?
What do you think? Do you think that they faked the moon landing? Now, I don't know. The only reason I would think that they would fake the moon landing is obviously to beat the Russians, to make it seem to the Russians that they have technology, they far possess them in technology. Other than that, I don't know why. Let me know.
What, dude? I don't even know these dogs, man. Stop! Hi, I know your name's Leo. I just met these two dogs. What is going on? What do you see? I'm not even ready. Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't do this. What is it, dog? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I've been invited to this farmhouse. He just introduced me, and she just introduced me. The wife and husband introduced to their dog. What are you seeing? Dude. Okay, and so they invited me here because they're having issues. This is their property line ends. What is wrong with you? There's movement.
Move away from the corn.
He's kicking up dirt. Okay, so she introduced me to her dogs, and so I went and got all my equipment. They had to leave for a soccer game. The story is they moved here 2 years ago. This field was empty when they moved in. It's surrounded by woods. Sorry, I'm not trying to move you that fast. There's the woods back there, and then it goes that way. And there's another set of woods, and if I could point you up over there, there's more woods. There's a farmhouse over that way, which is this is their property. So I'm going to walk along this line of her property. But anyway, they're hearing voices. When they moved here 2 years ago, it was just a field, but they could see figures running through and going into the forest. Where the damn dogs go? Okay. Running.
Of Elon Musk is starting to go viral after everyone thinks he glitched in the Matrix. And this is the clip right here. Watch this.
Yeah, refurbishable might be better.
Look at this.
But where do you think it failed, and where do you think, like, what
Look, you
lessons
see?
did you learn that
You see?
you know you're not going to be making on Starship? Like, do a mission. You're just trying to get data.
See, like, what's going on right now? So he was just doing an interview and touring a facility when it all happened. And after that was posted, it blew up everywhere. People were saying that he's a cyborg and he created himself with his own technology. Someone also said that he's short-circuiting. And also people are saying that's just a glitch in the Matrix. But to be honest, I've never seen anything like that. But it is one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen. And there's also that other clip when he was at the White House doing the head roll. And it's causing everyone to think that he's a robot or something. But I'm so curious to know, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think it's a glitch in the Matrix? Or do you think it's him just being his regular self? Go ahead and let me know.
Theory that we actually all did die in 2012. Have you ever heard of
what?
The everybody is dead theory?
Oh, all of us are dead? Or everyone?
Everybody is dead theory.
I think I have, but tell me.
So, there's a theory, right?
Yeah.
Continuing, I wanted to warn you guys, your phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
You know how the world was supposed to end in like 2012?
2012.
Everybody was like, oh fuck, we're gonna die, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a theory that we actually all did die in 2012.
Yep.
And life right now, right? You know how people say when they die, their life flashes before their eyes? But to them, it flashes and it's almost like they perceive time differently.
Oh yeah.
So what if everybody died in 2012 and we're all experiencing life through a flash, right? But this flash feels like however long, 80 years, right?
Yeah.
But really, It's just happening within like a millisecond.
Within a millisecond, yeah. And then somebody's like presses the button and we just all wake up to nothing.
Well, I have had weird dreams where you wake up and you think, I mean, that felt like forever, you know? And you wake up a dream within a dream. Do I believe that? No, I don't. I'm not saying it isn't true. What is reality? What is everything? I don't know. So yeah, very strange, and maybe I should stop watching certain videos because it freaks my head out.
That sound coming from another room in the house, and the cats will respond and run away. And I know, like, it's not me. I live alone.
She was home alone when she heard this. This girl was home alone with her cats when she heard her own voice calling her from outside the room.
I swear there's someone outside my room.
And after that, it only kept getting creepier.
I do live alone, not counting my cats. And I haven't heard it that clearly since that day, but I do hear a lot of other things. Like, I often hear my cats meowing in different rooms when both of them are next to me. Or I hear someone calling my cats from other rooms. I'm saying someone as if it's, I don't know, like it's a very specific sound that I've trained my cats to respond to. Here, well, I'll show you what the sound is. I will hear that sound coming from another room in the house, and the cats will respond and run away. And I know, like, it's not me. I live alone.
Well, what would you do in that situation? Would you just get up, move out, get sage in, get a priest in? Because if I heard my own voice calling me from the dark, then I don't think that's anything nice. Yeah, I would put that down to what's it? Malevolent. Is it malevolent? Yeah, or malicious, or just bad. Very, very bad. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
In Ohio, known as Helltown, and in this place, many people have reported feeling extremely uneasy when coming here. To some people, this isn't surprising, considering the horrifying events that occurred many years ago. Helltown was founded by a group of Native Americans who tragically lost many of its people in a gruesome battle between settlers and colonial troops. A lot of Indians died here, but those who survived had left Helltown in search of another home. Fast forward to present-day Helltown, and people are deeply afraid of coming here alone. Many believe that the land is cursed, given the chain of bad luck that ensued when the settlers moved in. On a certain night, Chris Hill, who you might recall from previous videos, decides to visit Helltown. What he captures on camera is eerie, to say the least. As Chris walks through a dense forest, he finds an old barn house. It's from here on out when things get weird.
The barn of Helltown.
Now, nothing too strange happens here, but when Chris decides to explore beyond the barn, things take a very creepy turn. Watch.
Yeah, this is kind of creepy. It's like a little shack back here. I'm surprised this barn is still standing despite how old it is. What the hell is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
sounds like a gathering or maybe like a battle. But India, Native
It goes without
American.
saying, but Chris was totally spooked. Somewhere not too far from him, a bunch of howling noises are heard. Understandably, he starts to get anxious. Although it's unclear as to what this was, it seems more than likely that a pack of coyotes were howling collectively. Regardless, coyote or not, the sudden cries coming from the pitch darkness had Chris on edge. But as if tonight couldn't get any more creepy, this happens. Not long after hearing the howling noises, he proceeds to explore the rest of Helltown. As he walks with caution, he immediately stops.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I keep hearing something. It sounds like it's following me.
He is bricking it. Yeah. Oh.
What the fuck is that? What's that?
Ooh. I wouldn't like a pair of eyes staring at me.
Something's over there. I can hear it.
What looks to be a pair of glowing eyes appear in the distance. It seems to be gazing at Chris as it hides behind the grass. It's as if it were stalking him. Now Chris immediately knew that this was a living thing after seeing it hide away. He further adds that whatever this was had to be taller than the grass around him. Mind you, that the grass was at least 6 feet tall. Given all that's happened before, Chris figured it was best if he left the place at once.
God, this is creepy. I gotta find my way out of here.
There we are. Get out of there, dude. I would have gone when I first heard the first lot. I'll be honest with you. I ain't sticking around after that.
Proof that the music industry has a demonic agenda. I mean, look at this. This is The Weeknd before and after. This is Katy Perry before and after. This is Kid Laroi before and after. This is Madonna before and after. Taylor Swift before and after. Playboy Cardi before and after. Trippie Redd before and after. ASAP Rocky before and after. Travis Scott before and after. Eminem before and after. You see, the devil works by deception. And most people say, chill out, it's just music. But what they don't know is that the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. So when you're hearing and hearing lyrics written by the devil, all you are doing is growing faith in the devil and his plan to steal, kill, and destroy in your life. If you want to know how to break the devil's power over your life, watch the video below.
It's obviously satanic. Yeah, you can't. People can't. Oh, it's art. It is an art. It is satanic. Because if you turn it around the other way now, if you had someone on the stage singing a song and had angel wings and halos and everything like that, you would turn around and say that's Christian, that's Catholic, that's Protestant, or that's praising Jesus, right? But then when people see horns on the stage, red, devils, demons, it's art. No, it's not art, it's satanic. Yeah. Do I believe a lot of these yeah, I believe they've been forced into it. I believe, and it's all to do with influence. That's why you see a change as they get to like a period, and then bang, you know, they hit super popularity, and you know, it's like, yeah, you're satanic now. But do not panic. The devil can't take your soul. Your soul is not his to take. It doesn't belong to him. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the one. Okay, that's my belief anyway, you know. But yeah, it's definitely satanic. People just say it's art. That ain't art. And that's where we come back to the fact that they do it right in front of your face. They push it out there because there is no consequences for that. The universe will not come back and bite karma. There is no bad karma, you know. If you tell people what you're doing, there is no bad karma coming back to you. If you don't tell people what you're doing and you do it, bad karma will come back to you. So there's a little there, but yeah, 100%. I believe it is satanic, and I believe when they get to a certain point that they're told right then, you either do this or your career's over. Okay, and that's what I technically think they've sold their soul. I don't think they've generally sold their soul to the devil, because the devil is not, your soul is not for the devil to take. Yeah, the devil can't physically take your soul. Okay, it doesn't belong to him. But, and I think that's what the term is, sold your soul. Yeah, you've turned your back then on Jesus for money. That's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And there we have it, guys. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's videos. Let me know your thoughts of any of them down in the comments below, okay? Because I do like to hear other people's opinions of what's going on, especially this 3-eye Atlas thing. Do you think there's something behind that, you know? Do you think? I suppose we're going to soon find out, don't we? So anyway, I will see you again soon, guys. Stay safe, and don't forget, fill yourself up full of love. It will protect you. CJ out.